Oh shit, we're live. Hello everyone, this is season 192, and today we are back with another live edition of the old player ratings. Now, I might have just messed up the intro there, I'm going to be brutally honest with you, and that was very, very awkward. But to everyone tuning in and to everyone who's watching after the fact, hopefully you're having a very good day. We are here, as always, to break down more individually and give them a score from 0 to 10. Now again, ladies and gentlemen, my fives, that's solid. All right, stop shouting at me for all that. What's happening to the boys? You've got Rangers Viral in here. You've got Mr. Loyal Hadji, Jay, Kyler, they're all here. Danny, they're all here. The lads are here. So thank you so much for tuning in now. I think everyone sort of knows what we're going to do now, and it's more of a conversation. I'm going to try and keep this video a wee bit shorter because the last one was 40 minutes. Nobody wants to see that, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll just dive right into the goalkeeper. But make sure we're getting your thoughts and opinions, whether you are watching it live or if you're watching it after the fact down there in the comment section below. If you're getting involved live, I will be throwing up your comments from what I can see on the screen. But let's go to the goalkeeping position for Rangers Football Club then and start off with John McLaughlin, who maybe was a bit of a surprise to see going into the game of football. And again, you look at the game of football, he didn't have too much to actually do. But before the scoring had started, he did have a massive save to make that no one, and I mean no one, is actually Tom. But this is a 1v1. Yes, it is a little bit to the left, but he's out early, spreads himself very well, and he managed to save it downward into the ground so Connor Goldson can go. So I'm going to give McLaughlin a solid 7 out of 10. Again, he wasn't overly stressed with what he had today, but when he had to make the big save, he gets it. And let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, that's his 12th clean sheet now in 14 games for Rangers this season. That is absolutely frightening. Wow, we've already got a donation in the chat. Thank you so much to Vic. Hopefully you're doing well, big man. So I've gave a solid 7 with that. And Mr. Loyal Hadji, love to see that, gives us 7. 7. All right. Oh, my. Okay, we might be all right here. I might actually be all right instead of getting screamed at the last time. What's happening to CGM? What's happening, big guy? 7.5, 6.5. Okay, so everyone's kind of in the same boat. It's good to see a wee bit of McLaughlin love as well. I mean, his clean sheet. See if you look actually into the games he's played before we move on to the right back. As I said there, right, he's got 12 clean sheets out of 14 games. You have to remember one of them as a penalty kick, and the other one is an offside goal as well. So he's had a no bad first season at Rangers. We've seen a lot worse for goalkeepers, ladies and gentlemen, but a solid 7 for me. Right, let's move on to the right back then. Captain Tavernier, the skipperoo himself, and this one, I don't know what to say here, ladies and gentlemen, genuinely, because I was so impressed with him last week with the amount of balls he put in the box. Again, I say that was probably the best crossing display I've seen for a very, very long time. And I thought he was just so damn positive. The opening 5-10 minutes on the Livingston part's never pretty, let's be honest. There was one time where he kind of fell over the ball. Livingston got a little bit of a break before Connor Goldson got the ball. But apart from that, it was exceptional for Tavernier. You look at his ball for the first goal, getting into the mix, or the second one, I should say, when he just absolutely puts on a plate for Ryan Kent, who then is unselfish and he passes to Morelos, then gets it back. But honestly, I'm looking at Tavernier there. The fact that this man's just back from a serious injury as well, playing every single minute, up and down, the only fullback we've got at the football club. I was very, very impressed with the skipper, so I'm actually going to give him a very, very high 8.5. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go 8.5 with that one for the skipper. I thought he was absolutely brilliant in the game, and he obviously scored the penalty kick, which was good for him because we all know what happened the last time he stepped up to take a penalty in the shoot. So very, very impressed with this skipper. I thought his overall performance was great, and the only time maybe you could have said, oh, that was unlucky, was when they crossed the ball and it hit off his arse and it nearly set one of the boys. But that happens in football. Sometimes you're unlucky with the way the ball bounces. A goal and basically an assist, exceptional for the skipper. So I'm going to give it 8.5. Joel gives an 8. Cammy goes 8. Mr. Loyal Hadji at 8.5. 9 or we riot. Sorry, Kenny. I mean, I'm already getting shouted at. I mean, if there's a 0.5 in there, I feel all right with that. Yeah, 9 for the captain. Comes in from James Hunter there. A 9. A lot of 9s. And actually a 7 coming from Bailey there. What? Come on, Bailey. Even I know. All right. I'm notorious for going a rating lower than it should be. But you went 7, Bailey. What's going on, big man? What's going on for you? And you talk about the Player of the Year discussion. Now that Connor Goldson somehow hasn't been selected for the Final Four in our game, now it's Tavernier, who now has 19 goals, 15 clean sheets. the clean sheet records that he's been heavily involved in, and the fact that he missed 2.5 months, yet he has that impact. I was looking at the Scottish football's player of the year in Tavernier, where he's think yes, no's, maybe so's. But moving on to the next one, and it's someone I was fuming that wasn't in the final four for player of the year, and that is going to be CB #1 Connor Goldson. And I'll be honest with you, ladies and gentlemen, some people call me biased, they call me a fanboy, but I rate this laddie very, very highly. The first major opportunity in the game came for Connor Goldson's bend it like Beckham-esque ball in behind, and he can do that all day. You talk about ball playing, you talk about bringing others into play, but Kamal Roof inside the box, free, but Kamal Roof just couldn't get the ball down because of that horrific service. And you're talking about the big headers he won, the way he marshals defence. Again, I'm maybe going to go a wee bit lower than some of you here, but I just thought it was such a Connor Goldson display. So I'm going to give him a very, very solid 7.5. That's the way I'm going to go for Mr. Connor Goldson. You look at the amount of times he put balls in the air, how many times he won it, the distribution, again, stepping forward, bringing the ball out. Very impressed with Connor Goldson. The best centre-back in the country for me. Again, it is very close between him and Alander, but for the overall game and what he brings and the leadership and the way he directs play, Connor Goldson for me a solid 7.5. And there's actually been a donation to the chat as well, so shout out to Mark Brown. Sorry, big man. He says, keep up the good work. Thank you so much, big man. Hopefully you're having a very good night. Right, let's see some of these. Chrissy. Sorry, getting the mouth all dry there. Goes in with a solid 9. I love that. 7.5 comes in from Joseph, so we're in agreement there, big man. Scott, 7.5. Connor Goldson, standard 8. That comes in for CGM. I can see that. Joe, 7.5. All right. So, I mean, we're good there. I don't think I'm going to get screamed at in the comment section for that there, but I'll take it. Right, moving on to the next centre-back, his partner, and that was none other than Jackie Simpson, who had a 1-minute spell that made you fear for a laddie. Let's be honest, that was the 19th minute, obviously to just after the 20th minute, where J. Emmanuel Thomas, the big jet, did take him for a walk twice. One of them where he put him down early and he just dragged him with his physicality. But if you've been paying attention to Livingston this season, the jet is doing that to pretty much everyone. So I'm not going to go too harsh here on Jack Simpson. I was very impressed with the way he responded after the fact. You talk about it, he got caught twice with that battle with Jet. Realised he's never, ever, ever winning it shoulder to shoulder. So he dropped off a couple of yards. It gave him a wee bit of space. Then he went in to nip the ball. And for me, that was very, very smart play. And he shows how much of a clever player he actually is. So I'm going to go, despite the fact he was booked again earlier in the game, I'm going to give him a solid 7 with this one. Just because for the rest of the game, didn't he put himself in a position where he could get easily beaten? Considering the fact he wasn't playing with a left back all afternoon with Joe Aribo and Jack Simpson, maybe the vulnerable from the Livingston end, I thought the two of them done pretty solid work. He was quick enough when he needed to be, put the heads into a couple of dangerous positions. One of them where Pittman just left one on him, which should have been a yellow card, by the way. I don't know if you remember the one I'm talking about. It's just an ugly challenge for Pittman, but he put his body where it hurt. So a solid 7 for me. Let's see what people saying. Rangers viral, 7. Chrissy, 6.5. Okay. Fantastic. All right, sorry. Not the best game, but there's a decent player in there. Again, Bale, I've seen that after the 20th minute. I can see there's something in there. Again, it's a project. Let's remember, Jack Simpson arguably wouldn't even be playing. Well, he wouldn't be playing if Hollander was there and Balogun was there. He's playing in the now because of injury. So he's actually 6 months ahead of when he was supposed to be in and amongst it. And I'm sure with what we've seen of the laddie, there is a player in there who's starting to be very, very promising by. And the fact he is so comfortable with the ball at his feet as well. I still don't think he's established himself as the natural ball-playing defender, but you can see he's got a wee bit to his game, and I'm sure that will be added as he goes and continues to grow. So solid. What is that? Why are you not watching the captain? I'm working, mate. I'm working, big man. You know what I mean? Right, moving on to the left-back scenario, we have Joe Aribo. That's right, the attacking midfielder who was playing at left back. Now, if you've seen Stephen Gerrard's post-match interview where he actually spoke about Joe Aribo, and he says, what can I say about Joe Aribo? I mean, you've got good players, they can go on there and do a job for you, but the top players can go and play anywhere on the park. And honestly, that's resonated with me because you look at what Joe Aribo is as a player, technical, flair. He's pretty much an attacking midfielder, but look at your team. Could you see the likes of Hadji? Could you see the likes of Scotty Arfield? Could you see the likes of the more attacking players, like even a Scotty Wright, going down there and playing left back? I didn't think you can. But the fact that Joe Aribo can go in there in a tough environment versus a tough team and put in that consistent performance really just sums up how much of a good team a good player he actually is. One time, again, he was beat when he was a wee bit more, like, obviously the Livingston player spun in behind him and he wasn't quite switched on as they did the track his runner, and that led to the Kabai boy hitting the actual post. But he's an attacking midfielder, man. That's one time in the entire game. You look at how important he was for the third goal in the game. You talk about how many times he got forward, got the ball in the box, had shots on target. So I'm going to go very high with Joe Aribo here as well. I'm going to go a very, very high 8.5 out of 10. Mr. Aribo playing at left back, starting left back for the first time in, 4 years since he tried one match for Charlton. Unbelievable. Solid 8.5. Very impressed with the man. Again, Gerard said it's probably it's up there with one of the best left-back displays that he's seen since he came into the football club. That's a little bit harsh on Barisic with some of the balls he puts in there, but again, it gives credit to Joe Aribo, so I'm going very high, very, very high in 8.5. Let's see it. Love Joe comes in from Mr. Fantastic's Fox. 9 all day, gives his heart and soul. Graham Dick gives a 9. Bailey Rice in an 8, third best left back in the league behind Borna and Bassey. I'll tell you, son, Bassey must be shiting himself right now seeing Mr. Joe Aribo go out there and put in that level of performance. Kyle puts an 8.55. I like it, mate. I like it for you. Wait for next season. Joe Aribo's going to absolutely run Scottish football. Well, if you remember, actually, Kevin Thompson talked about this quite a lot on Rangers TV as well. It was Aribo who was shining in pre-season and shining in training, but then he got that injury and then he had the COVID issue, and then that kind of knocked his confidence, and it took him a wee while to get back. But for me, one of his best games was in one of the biggest games that we can play in, and that was against Celtic, not the cup game, the one before where he took that wee Laxal boy for a walk. So I am very excited to see what the future holds for Joe Aribo, and the fact that Gerard went as far to say that he's a top player and he can play anywhere summarises how highly he's thought of here at Rangers. Cameron, thank you, my man. Tips £4 to the chat and goes follow. Thank you. Right. Moving on to the midfield now, even though we've just spoke about an Italian midfielder. Let's go with the right centre mid. Let's go with Glenn, Mr. Kamara, who was vital for the first goal because it was his turn, it was his run, and it was his direct pass into Kamara that did split and get by the mountain of defenders and midfielders that was in the way for Livingston. And I kind of say this a lot, and I've said this in a lot of the videos, and I'm not meaning to get boring, but it's such a Glenn Kamara performance that you can go out there and play a 7.5 every week and you didn't even bat your eyes. Like, genuinely, that's how consistent this lad is, and that's how good he is. He just goes, does his business, can take the ball in tight areas. I took it twice just at the edge of the box, making me almost shite myself, but he just drops the shoulder, goes the other way, beats people. And again, it's his positivity and his directness that gets us the opening, which is obviously vital at the Tony Macaroni. We know how hard of a place it is to go there and score goals. So I've kind of spoiled it during my talking there, but another 7.45 for Glenn Kamara. Didn't do anything wrong, but that is a Glenn Kamara performance. That is what he brings you. It's the Sasa Papach effect. Always a 7 or 8 out of 10. I'm slapping him right in the middle, and Saucy Glenn is getting a 7.5. Let's see what people's got to say. Derek, up here, big man. I like that. 7.5. Kamara standard, 8. Robert goes in a 7. Chrissy goes 8. Thomas goes 7. So we're starting to see, I think I've actually nailed this one right in between the old gaps, everyone. Although Andrew goes as high as a 9 for Saucy Glenn. 50. Oh my God, 50k. Oh, so that's a week's worth of Shane Duffy's wages. Oh my God, man. Ridiculous value, and I just love Glenn Kamara. And the fact that him and the next guy I'm about to speak about is again playing pretty much every single minute and every single game, because there is nobody else. It's tremendous what we're seeing for the boys, especially considering the league title was won over 2 months ago. That's scary to actually say. But now let's jump right to the left centre mid / centre back and a back three / wherever we needed them to be. Stephen Davis was there, and I'm not going to beat around in the bush here. I just thought Stephen Davis just was Stephen Davis in this game. It's an 8 for me. I'm talking about whether it is needing to slide in at the middle of the back three, pick the passes, whether it's making a last gas sprint down the right-hand side, offering support, whether it's getting in the mixer when they've hit the bar or when they're clearance, or it's dropped inside the box. He cleared it and he reads the game better than everyone. And you've got to understand that is a 36-year-old player that's playing every single game, every couple of days, and the standard fit. But I mean, they're all doing wee jackets and everything for a 36-year-old that can't hack it anymore. That's a 36-year-old still at the top of his game, still running Scottish football. So Stephen Davis, an 8 for me, and I don't ever think it really drops. When's the last time you saw a Stephen Davis performance drop under an 8? Honestly. That's why he's in the Player of the Year conversation. I like when it first started to happen /November and December, I went, no way, it's Connor Goldson, it's James Tavernier, it's these boys. But he's had a 4 or 5 month spell now where he's never once dropped under an 8, and it's ridiculous for me, man. The job that he is actually doing. So I'm going to go for an 8, and that's the same as our boy Kerr. What's happening, big man? Hope you're well. An 8 for him. For Davo. Out of 10, I'd rate Davis tremendous. I like that for you, son. I like that. An 8.5, especially for his age. I mean, he's running about. Do you remember, was it the 63rd minute, we had a counter-attack and Morelos, unfortunately, overhits the ball. But you see someone steamrolling down the right-hand side, and it's Stephen Davis. He's the one that cleared it for inside his box. To 20 seconds later, he's the furthest man forward. He's 36. I don't know, whatever we're doing. I don't know whatever we're feeding him, but we need to get every single person on it. Ladies and gentlemen, frighteningly good footballer. Bob Steele, hopefully you're doing well. I've seen your last picture you uploaded, big man. You're looking very well. He goes at 8.5 for Davis. Obviously, that's an average score for him. Agreed, mate. Agreed. I think, see, doing well. Chris Elliott goes 9. Done as good as 2 times now. I like that. Old man can still move. That he can, Gareth. Still move better than most of this league. Now, here's an interesting one because it's someone that, again, always gets criticised, and I just didn't get it. And that's going to be none other than Hadji, who I was very worried about, I'm going to be honest. Despite how much I rate him, I was worried about the fact that I knew he was going to have to play in the middle of the park where we're going to be playing the physicality of Livingston on that plastic park. It was setting up, and the odds were definitely stacked against the lad if he coming out and having a game. And I thought he had a quiet-ish 45 minutes. I mean, it was his braveness, it was his anticipation, and it was his awareness that did win the penalty kick. And I'm saying win there because I'm not saying he's cheated or anything, but just like the big man Martindale said after the game, it's just, that's quality there. He gets there. He knows if he gets there, it's a penalty kick, and you just can't teach that. And so he did get us a penalty, but I thought in the second half, he took his game for maybe a 6.5, and he just picked it up to a 7.5 in my opinion. Yes, you scored a goal as well, which was brilliantly finished across the goalkeeper, but I liked him in that middle. I mean, when Glenn Kamara and Stephen Davis dropped just a little bit deeper and Hadji was just ahead of them, I thought he started dictating the play, especially in the second half. And you go back and you look at when we were at our best, it was usually when the ball was starting at the feet of Hadji. And you know what Hadji's all about. He's trying to make things happen. He's trying to do things. Maybe a 7.5's harsh. Well, I'll go 8. I'm changing it. I'm going 8. I've talked myself up to it. I forgot he scored. I forgot he scored, even though I've talked about it all the time. And I liked his finish, still putting himself in the right positions. I like the fact that he's willing to have a pop. So I'm going to go with an 8 for our boy Hadji. Love watching him play football. Again, it's just finding whatever's the best position for Hadji. But you look at it, in this season where he has dropped in and out of the squad and he's been brought on as a sub for a couple of months as well, he still managed 21 goal contributions. And you think back to last season and the season before, we didn't need 30 goals from one player because we had that in Alfredo Morelos. We needed 20, 25 goals for certain players. So now we're getting that for the likes of Hadji, and obviously 27 goals now for Ryan Kent, who we will speak about. But that is what we needed in our teams, these 20 to 25 goals spread elsewhere. And Hadji's bringing that despite his limited game time. And that, for me, I can't say enough about Hadji. I rate him so damn highly, and it's what we needed, yet he still gets criticised, but he's doing his job. 20 goal contributions in his first full season at the club. Brilliant for me. Top of the assists of the league. Exactly, CGM. I've just seen that in the comments, and yet he's bare. If you look at his minutes per game, it's better than everyone in terms of what he's bringing on the park. It's just finding the best position for him in this thing, but again, he's still young. He's still going to be here next season. I'm not wanting to hear this paper pish about Lazio and all that nonsense. No, he's Rangers. He's number 7, and he's going to be a very big player for us going into next season's Champions League campaign. But Andrew Robertson, is it the left back? I don't know. Probably not. He goes 8 for that top draw finish. It was tied in. It was actually something Martindale said when he was talking about his own player who had missed that sitter. Instead of going across the goals, he tried to sit it into the left, and that's why it hit the post. But that's Hadji showing he's a top finisher as well. It's crossed the goalkeeper, buried it, basket. Let's see. Bailey writes in 8.5 for me. He's very good when he's on the ball. But you know what I like about Hadji as well is he's got a wee bit of aggression in him as well, because you look at him and you think, oh, he's just a skill player, but he likes to get stuck in, doesn't he? And I mean, he gets kicked for pillar post and his appetite for the game. So 21 goal contributions. I'm delighted we had you, the young player of the year for me, in my opinion. So I'm going to give a solid 8. Now, it's time. I'd consider the formation a free, then Ryan Kent and the two strikers. So we'll go with Ryan freaking Kent. The man, is it there? Is it there? I can't see the screen. I think is it here? No, it's a bit there, isn't it? There, whatever. The man is always on the wall. It's none other than Ryan freaking Kent. And honestly, I don't know what else to say about Ryan Kent. I just don't know what to say about the man anymore. The level that he's in there, he's pushing now for the Player of the Year conversation, and he's getting himself in there because of these displays. One of the best moments we had before we ended up scoring, obviously, in the 40th minutes, when he was just dragging the ball back behind two people, slips a through ball to Roof, and Roof tries to catch Morelos at the back post, but overhits the cross. But Ryan Kent is the heartbeat of this Rangers team. He is the vital cog, right slap bang in the middle, that makes our entire team run, in my opinion. And that's not me putting anybody else down. I love the Rangers team, you know, I love the players, but Ryan Kent is the fuel that gets us going. So I am not going to go any lower than an 8.5. Obviously scored in the game as well, and that was brilliant. I mean, his assist to Morelos just to bring that volley down like that was gorgeous. I mean, that deserved it in itself. And Morelos squares it back to him, so he gets a tap in. But I can't say enough for Ryan Kent. An 8.5. He was 10 last week, an 8.5 here. Phenomenal player. And genuinely, I just love watching him play. Every single time he touches the ball, the anticipation goes up, the excitement goes up. I don't know, lads. I mean, if he gets better and progresses as much as he's progressed in this season from previous seasons, what's it going to be like next year? Do you know what I mean? What are we going to see? If he's going to take that leap for the season before, what's it, 13 goals, 14 assists? I don't know, man. Absolutely frightening, man. Part man, part machine. Exactly, big man. A lot of nines coming in here. Andrew, Alfie, Chrissy, David, Kevin. I mean, there, it says it all. Kenticles running the show. Absolute baller. My man of the match, CJ, a solid 9. Do you know if he's got a selling clause? He doesn't have a solid selling clause. Matthew, 9. No one is near him in Scotland. I agree with that, big man. Absolutely. 9 for the man even survived the Tasmission. Exactly. That's how the only reason you could slow him down is if you had to go ahead and grab them in. His left-footed shot, by the way, his rocket, was actually a lot closer than I thought when I went back and watched the highlights before I went ahead and done today's video. I just love watching him play, genuinely. I'm going to be gutted that he's playing at such a high level for the next 2 months. After Saturday, we're not going to see him kick a football, but it's going to be sad, ladies and gentlemen. But moving away from Ryan Kent, we move on to Kemar Roof. And it's an interesting one for Kemar Roof because, again, I love the fact that he's playing in the 2 up top now for Rangers. That, for me, is the formation, especially when we play in Scottish football. It seems to just add a lot of problems, and you've got the running for Morelos, and he's always a handful. But you've got the clever runs for Kemar Roof, and you've just got the it factor Kemar Roof. You talk about the goal he scored with his nipples versus Celtic. You talk about the passing move he scored versus Celtic. And you talk about his cleverness with the wee back heel flick to find our boy Hadji. That's Kemar Roof opening the door and just showing his absolute quality. Yes, he did fall a couple of times on the plastic surface. Yes, he did lose the ball quite a bit on the plastic surface. But when we needed him to be big, he was. So I'm going to go a solid 7 for Kemar Roof. And again, that's not me saying anything. 7's very high, in my opinion, a very good performance. But I just thought when we needed him to show a wee bit of quality, and we talk about moments in games and magic, he got that. He passed it to Hadji from there. I still think he was adjusting to the surface, so that's going to be a thing. Although Hamilton's now getting relegated, which is fantastic. So that's one less plastic part. Maybe Kilmarnock will go down to via the playoffs, and that's only one plastic part left in the Scottish game. That'd be something, wouldn't it? We'll actually see the boys playing. Derek goes a 6.5, so a wee bit lower for me. Matthew goes a 7. Daryl, goes in with a 7 as well. David goes, Roof was a 7, and he was decent. I agree with that. 7 for Roof. All right. Okay. Hey, I might have got one right here. Oh, actually, Graham goes, thought he was very quiet, 6.5. Fair enough, big man, fair enough. You could see his quality in the game. I just thought, especially in the first 25 minutes, every time he tried to take a touch on the ball, it was just like bouncing on that surface and just going air him whenever it was sad to see. But you see every new player at this football club, whenever they first play in a plastic park, be like, what the fuck is this? But Roof Hud has now, it's time to get to Alfredo frickin' Morelos, the man who done something in this game that I love, ladies and gentlemen. Can anybody guess what it is? If you're watching not live as well, get involved. But he done a thing in this game that I want every other Rangers player today. And that is wipe out the opposition when they're running through a counter-attack. He done it in the 30th minute of this game. He picked up a yellow card, but that is what I love. He identified the danger. He went and took the ball out, stopped the counter-attack for Livingston, gave us a chance to get back and clear it. By God, we need more of that in the team. We needed that in the cup games versus St John's. We needed that versus Mirren. But big Alfredo Morelos went ahead and delivered it. And I know it's not fancy and it's not a goal or anything, but that there wins you games of football, ladies and gentlemen. It stops you from conceding goals. I loved it. Picked up a yellow card, but that's a professional foul, and we need more of that in the team. And obviously, ended the game with an assist, but I thought he was very a nuisance all day, I should say. I was trying to think of the exact wording there for me. The assist was absolutely brilliant because I thought he was going to shoot it all day, every day. So I am going to go with a 7.5 for our boy Alfredo Morelos. Good performance. Got involved in things we needed to get involved again. Picked up a yellow card, but it's not a yellow card that I'm upset with. We'll love to see that. So, very good performance. I knew there was going to be 10s. I just knew it. Look at that. 10 because it was Alfie. I knew it. 8 for Buffalo, goal-scoring ledger. He's been outstanding this season, especially after the first month. I thought he's bang. Just like that. 8 comes in for Barney. 7.5 would have been an 8.5 if he got his goal. Exactly, mate. But I didn't think he necessarily missed a major opportunity or he had a big chance. I just thought him and Roof done a lot of selfless running, and a lot of their play was to drag players out the way for Ryan Kent to shine or for us to get forward. So I thought they both were done enough and done a lot of selfless stuff that maybe doesn't grab the attention or get the old plums plumping, but solid 7.5. Now, we move to the subs, and from my recollection, there was Greg Stewart. Very happy to see our boy Greggy Stewart. Leon King, brilliant to see the young man make his professional debut. We had Jermaine Defoe and Cedric Itten, but none of them really had a lot of time to get on the ball. But just like last week where we spoke about Jermaine Defoe coming on and scoring versus Celtic, I want to give Cedric Itten a wee shout because this is a laddie that's had moments, then he's had his start and it's not quite worked out for him, then he's fell away, and then he's had his moments, then he's fell away, and when he's had his starts. But I just love there's no ego. And I mean, you can tell there's not a bit of ego that drips out for that man because he just doesn't complain whether he starts or whether he doesn't. He comes on and plays the exact same way with the just at any time in the game, whether he was needing to score a goal to win us the league title. He just plays to that standard. And the third goal comes from him busting his ass and chasing lost cause. It's him getting involved. It doesn't even show you that in highlights. And that's what pisses me off with people who cut highlights and everything. It starts off with Aribo passing the ball down the left-hand side. You didn't see any of the hard work, the anticipation and the aggression for in to chase a lost cause, win the ball back, then find Joe Aribo, then sprint all the way down the left-hand side. That's this stuff that goes unnoticed in games, but if you pay attention, you can see how important it is. And shout it to in. Not only does he make the tackle, make the run, but then he's got the quality to pick out Hadji. Genuinely pick him out. He's not trying to hit the foe. He's trying to pick out Hadji, slaps it right into the right spot, perfect weighted ball in, and he grabs an assist. So I was very impressed with Big Cedric. And again, we can't really give them numbers and everything because they were all substitute appearances. But I wanted to give Big Ced the Ted a wee bit of love because I like what he's doing here. Maybe I would like him to get more minutes, more goals in a perfect world, but he's coming on and doing the job. So we will even do things. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. That's it for being the old player ratings. If you're talking about Steven Gerrard, though, let's get involved for that. I thought he'd done so well. 9 first-team players out. Gone to the Tony Macaroni, a place we've notoriously struggled at, versus a team that always makes it difficult. I could not give Steven Gerrard a bigger rating, if I'm honest with you. Genuinely. I'd go as far as saying 9.5, maybe even a 10, genuinely, because the way he's had to shuffle that, the way he's had to move it. You look at the subs, we have 4 attackers on, yet he put people in positions to get the actual job done. Phenomenal work for the gaffer. Yep, we're seeing a lot of 10s, seeing a lot of 9.5s. Love that, love that, love that, boys. 55. Love that. Right, that's us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in and got involved, and to everyone who donated, by the way. We greatly appreciate that. Now there's only one more player ratings to go, and that will be on this Sunday, where we speak about Trophy Day, ladies and gentlemen. So I will see you tomorrow for the preview ahead of this unbelievable weekend. And to everyone who's watching live or watching back, thank you so much for all the support. We're jumping up on subscribers. We were 1,400 away from 50k yesterday. Now we are 1,200 away, ladies and gentlemen. 200 up in the last 24 hours. Let's try and keep that momentum up. Keep spreading the word about the channel. Let's chase that 50k dream for Saturday to make the weekend of all weekends. But to everyone who tuned in, thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. All the best, and bye.